Wake up, honey. Another 49ers player just got injured. What's up? Welcome to Cohn and LaRocca. I'm Grant Cohn. That's Tyler C. LaRocca. And Ricky Pearsall hurt his knee. Now, here's what you need to know. He hurt it in the last game. He started feeling soreness after the game. It was so sore that he needed to get it checked by the training staff today, and he did not practice at all. But he told me that he's not worried about it. He's not really worried about it. And if there was a game today, he would play. Don't know how much, don't know how well. This is a guy who's been injured a lot in the NFL, in college. How concerned are you about Ricky's latest injury, this one to his knee?
I mean, if our training staff says it's nothing, that means it's most likely a torn ACL. So I'm pretty concerned since they decided
that's dark humor, but it's true.
Like, I mean, dude, that you got to be kidding. Like, if that's not a reason to fire your medical staff, I don't know what is. But in all seriousness, I'm not too worried about it. It's probably just, he got a lot of targets. He's getting smacked around a lot. So I don't know. I believe him until game day comes around. Maybe he wants his vet day early. Like all the vets get Wednesday, and he's like, I want it to.
I'm concerned in the sense that he does have an extensive injury history. He wasn't really like the kind of guy who would go every day in training camp, do all the one-on-ones. They kind of like managed him. And he had that hamstring injury for a long time. Last year, he had a shoulder subluxation. I'm not even talking about the gunshot wound because that has nothing to really doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm talking more about just football injuries. And they were there in college too. So this year, that he got a lot of targets. He's among the league leaders in receiving yards. And I wonder, can he really hold up with that kind of usage? Because so far the early answer is no. Maybe they got to dial it back a little bit with Ricky. And it's not like he's 22. He's about 25 years old. So can he be a number one wide receiver? He's really good, but I wonder how long he can hold up.
Yeah, and my other kind of assumption would be they're just being overly careful because we are so thin at receiver still. Because, I mean, we haven't heard much about Juwan. Is Juwan supposed to play this week?
I mean, I don't think anyone really knows with Juwan. He did not practice today. So
okay, yeah. So my assumption, and another reason I'm not too worried, is I feel like they're just being overly careful. Like, we can't afford to lose Ricky. So if he has to not practice for a day or two or be limited for the rest of the week, let's just make sure we're safe and sound on that front.
The problem is that the Niners have the track record that we just made fun of. And when they say it's no big deal, like part of us feels like, oh, so you're saying he's never going to play football again.
Yeah, no, and I do agree. Like, you never know what the Niners, which is kind of frustrating. No, like I feel like every other team you can kind of like, besides the Chargers, because Harbaugh has that ask him thing, which is also annoying. But yeah, dude, that's the hard part with the Niners is, we don't know. I mean, on Sunday it was, they don't think it's a torn ACL. And then Monday morning we wake up and Nick's out for the season. And Nick seemed to have known more about the knee than them. So it's just one of those things, man, where it's really, really weird. I feel like I said this in a tweet, man. At some point you got to look at Kyle. You don't just bad luck into every single year being a top 5 most injured NFL team besides 1 year. Like 8 out of 9 years of his tenure, he has had a top 5 most injured football team. There's no way that's just a random coincidence. Right?
And doesn't it kind of override all the good that he does? I mean, yes, you have a nice system and you've done you've won a lot of games, but if you can't figure out this basic issue, how can you ever be a championship head coach?
Yeah. Like the only year, and this is kind of why we all kind of said like 2023 has to be the year because we're never going to be this healthy. And I mean, that's what sucked about 2023 not going our way was just like, look at this year, man. It's like, it doesn't stop. Like we were starting to roll and it was like, oh, look, like we're beating teams. We're going to get people back like week 5, week 6. Like this year looks really good. And then Nick goes and blows out his knee. And you're like, dude, when does it end? Like when
for the
could
third
it
time in his
end?
life? And Mac Jones is hurt and Brock isn't 100% healthy. And it's hard to say which wide receiver is 100% healthy. Thank goodness DeMarcus Robinson's coming back, but he hasn't played in a month.
So God knows
Christian
what's going to happen to
McCaffrey's
him.
a shell of himself. George Kittle's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day with the Niners, man, it's with Ricky, like that's the biggest thing. Like, does it concern me? No, because Ricky's talking, and usually when they're like hiding injuries, the players don't talk. But
That's true.
Rick, like at the end of the day, man, like at some point, I would love to go a single day of training camp or a game where someone isn't going down or hurt.
He seemed like a very tough guy. Super tough. And I think he's probably going to try to gut it out. But the fact that he didn't practice today makes me feel like he's a little nervous. I mean, Bosa just went down with a knee injury. Maybe he wants to exercise an abundance of caution, and you don't really know what that soreness is. But just because he's going to give it a go and try to suit up doesn't mean he can make it through. And I think this was the issue with him during the offseason. So, this is not what they freaking needed, because he's really been kind of the MVP of the offense so far. I know everything's gone through Christian McCaffrey, but that's a choice from Kyle Shanahan. Ricky's the guy who's really been
I think Ricky's been by far the best player on the offense this year so far. It's 3 games, but he's
also been a really good fit with Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I said during the summer, like when he got hurt again, I was like, oh man, I'm over it. Like I'm over the Ricky experiment, but he looks really, really, really good. Like I think he could be better than Debo at his peak.
Oh my! I think he could go for, if he could stay healthy for 17 games, I think he could go for 1,500 yards.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll ever be a red zone guy, but that's what you have like Juwan and Kittle and Robinson for.
Oh, do you?
Well, theoretically.
Yeah, I really like Ricky a lot. So I hope this isn't anything. If Ricky goes down like they're at, Brock or not, they're cooked. They'll have no, like DeMarcus Robinson going out there as your best receiver. Like I know the Jags and Trevor Lawrence are awful, but I mean, there's not much you can make work from that.
Do you think Ricky will be practicing on Thursday?
I think he'll be limited Thursday.
That would be good. If he's not practicing at all tomorrow, I'm officially concerned. Here's the thing. I drafted Ricky Pearsall in the 5th round of my
your fantasy.
I'm in a dynasty and a fantasy. So in the regular fantasy for this year, I really believed in Ricky. I felt he was going to get a lot, and I was right. 5th round. But if he gets hurt, then I was wrong. So concerned.
I think I know the problem with the Niners right now is I actually bought the Kittle Rivals jersey. So I think I cursed them. So
I told you. Okay, let's move on. Nick Bosa's done for the year. We're going to talk about what that means for him and the team next. But first, let's look forward. What can the Niners do about this? Clearly, if their pass rush falls off, but they're still, a winning team with the winning record, they might want to go after another pass rusher, and that's a move that would happen closer to the deadline. We're in late September. That'd be more like early November. So we're going to need to see which teams tank and sell. But seems like there's already a couple edge rushers that are obviously on the Niners' radar if they're serious about this season. Why don't you tell them who they are? Tell the chat.
Yeah, so I know a lot of rumors are about like Trey Hendrickson and Kayvon Thibodeau. I was actually, before the rumors came out, I said it on my Twitter that I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with Hendrickson. I actually think Thibodeau would be a much, much better target. He's 1 on a rookie deal. 2, he's young. 3, he's going to be cheaper to extend than a Trey Hendrickson. So if he does perform well and you want to keep him, you don't have to break the bank. Whereas Trey Hendrickson, if you trade for him and he comes over and he balls out, I mean, he's going to ask for a top tier contract, and you're most likely not going to keep him. So you're most likely renting him. But I know those are the rumors. This actually worries me because I genuinely don't think the Niners will pull the trigger. I think this is just going to solidify the fact that they're not trying to win this year. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're already kind of like, let's see how it goes. And then you're like first or second best player on the team goes down. I feel like that kind of solidifies like, let's just not spend any more this year,
What about this? I like the Kayvon Thibodeau idea. It's perfect. It fits in their price structure. They could theoretically get him for 1 year and let him go if he doesn't work out, if they wanted to keep Bryce Huff instead. What about going big, trading for Hendrickson, and then trading Bosa next year? Because if you have to pay big money to one of these defensive ends, Hendrickson's older, but
Yeah.
he hasn't torn his ACL 3 times. And last year he had 17 and a half sacks. And the year before that, he had 17 and a half sacks. And the last 2 years combined, Bosa has about 19. Is it possible that Hendrickson is just better and more worth the money going forward?
So here's another thing. And this is another reason I lean Thibodeau, right? What if you trade Nick and you keep going with this youngster squad, right? Thibodeau's, I think, 24, turning 25. You extend him for way cheaper than Trey Hendrickson's going to be. And then you trade Nick, load up on draft capital, shed his contract, have some breathing room in the cap space. And then you can kind of do whatever you want.
I would be open to trading Nick Bosa. Nothing personal, and maybe that seems harsh now that he's injured right now.
Yeah.
But they've paid him so much money. They're on the hook for so much money. I don't think that it's necessarily the best allocation of salary cap space. Like next year, he's going to take up 14% of their salary cap space, or they could trade him with a post June 1 designation and see what they could get. What do you think you could get for Bosa in his contract at this point, given he's on his third rehab?
Yeah, I mean, the ACL injury with the price tag kind of hurts it.
Does he have a no trade clause? I bet he does.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. But I was a big proponent of not paying Bosa in the first place and just kind of paying him or trading him instead of paying him. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be 28 next year, so he's getting older for an edge rusher. And he's rehabbing an ACL, his second time tearing that ACL, third time tearing his ACL in general. And it's just like, I don't know, we're looking for a way to shed cap, right? And I feel like that's the easiest way to do it. Like, that's a ton of cap relief. You could get someone, I mean, you could at least get like a second or third round for him, I feel like.
What's rough is that, like, a week ago, if you wanted to trade Nick Bosa, you could get 2 first-round picks.
Oh, for sure.
Him in his contract. But now it's like, man, is he going to be ready for week 1? Can you get him in training camp? Probably not.
They said it's a clean tear. It's just the ACL, so it's no other ligament damage like BA.
But it's the second time he's hurt this ACL.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder, like, is he in danger of hurting the other ACL a second time? Like, how much more can his body withstand, or is this the beginning of the end?
I mean, I think with
I would trade him if there's an offer.
Oh, I would trade him too, but I definitely think he'd have like a really good, like an elite level year or two left in him. But yeah, I'd trade him. Like if I were them,
if you keep him, I don't know that you can re-sign Bryce Huff.
If I were them, I would target someone like Thibodeau or even Hendrickson, but I would mainly target Thibodeau. Extend him and trade Nick somewhere for cap relief. And obviously Thibodeau is not going to be as good as Nick, peak for peak. Thibodeau's got a lot of talent. He could be very, very good. But between Michael Huff and Thibodeau, I think you got something nasty there.
I think you got to think about the core of this team moving forward, and I'm not sure Nick Bosa is part of that anymore.
No, I don't think so.
He comes back from this ACL injury, be like 29 years old. The rest of this defense is a lot younger than that. I think they should be trying to go young on defense. It's working out. Yeah. They don't need to spend $35 million a year on a 29-year-old edge rusher who'll give you 9 to 10 sacks a year and has 3 surgically repaired knees, only 2. But I think they could trade him and just roll with Fred Warner as like the vet on the defense. As long as you have Fred Warner, you're going to have a good defense. Yep. You could trade Bosa for multiple picks, whatever you want to do, get another guy on a rookie deal, have a good D-line. I don't think you need Bosa.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it sucks too because I love Nick Bosa so much. He's so fun, but this is heartbreaking, man. Like that's a gut punch. It's a gut punch for sure.
Okay, so I know you're feeling emotional right now, but let's think business. We both think that it would be smart to trade Bosa now. In retrospect, would it have been smart for the organization to trade Bosa instead of extending him like they did a couple years
So
ago?
even prior to the injury, like if you asked me this last week, I would have said yeah. I'd never thought they should have paid what they paid him. Not because Bosa is not elite, but just because I feel like that money could have been spent better elsewhere. The team was already starting to stress about salary cap come this year. And I just thought you could have. I think I forgot who was drafted 2 years ago. It might have even been Thibodeau. I was saying they should trade up for one of the premier edges in the draft. Um, and yeah, that I think they should have.
Yeah, I mean, what did you end up getting for, was it 5 years, $170 million,
Yeah,
$35 million a year? You ended up getting 19 and a half sacks and another season-ending injury in week 3. Like, you planned your whole defense around him, and now he can't be out there, and you're paying him anyway. Uh, I think in retrospect, the signs were there. He
yeah,
he had a season-ending injury in 2020. He had a season-ending injury his final year in college. He had a season-ending injury in high school. Like it happened to his dad. It happened to his brother. He was breaking down before he got to the NFL. And the fact that he put together 2 dominant years after tearing his ACL was very impressive. But
yeah,
you got to be ruthless. The Chiefs don't make everyone a core player. They traded away D Ford. They traded away Charvarius Ward. Uh, in retrospect, it would have been super savvy for the Niners. How many first round picks do you think the Niners could have gotten for Nick
if they
Bosa
traded him off his
in
DPOI year,
2022? Yeah.
was it 2022 or 2023? Was it because that was the draft, right? 2023. Yeah. So this is what I was saying. They should have traded Nick to D'Amico Ryan's Texans and
Mm.
grabbed Will Anderson Jr. That was what I wanted them to do. I was trying to figure out which year it was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he
That
signed
would
it
have
in
been a really smart move.
he would have signed it in 2023, right? That's when he signed the
Mhm,
deal. Yeah.
mhm.
So that was what I was wanting them to do. You trade it because the Texans had 2 picks, so they could have still gotten CJ. They could have gotten Nick, paid him. And then I wanted us to get Will Anderson Jr., who's obviously a stud right now. So, and he would be still on a rookie deal.
I hope the Niners learn their lesson from this. That you've paid all these players. You finally said no to Jawan Jennings. It's a good start. But
Mhm.
sometimes someone in the future who was the offensive player of the year or the defensive player of the year, you're going to have to say, you know what? Thank you very much, but we don't feel like you are worth it going forward, and we're not going to pay you for what you did in the past.
Yeah, and I think that applies more to Christian because Nick was young, right? Nick was young at the top of his game. Like it makes sense to extend a 25-year-old defensive player of the year.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think yeah, you really gotta. The Niners don't think enough. They like react. They've reacted way too often, and I think this is the first offseason where they haven't reacted. They've been like proactive, right? Like the Lenore signing last year, and then they signed George, Fred, Purdy before it got hairy. They signed McKivitz before it got hairy. Like they're finally starting to be proactive with contracts instead of reactive, like the Nick contract, the BA contract. Um, and so I think, yeah, man, I definitely think Nick should be traded. But the issue is, do I think they'll do it? Probably not.
Mark Antonelli says we're living in a fantasy world if we think we could trade Bosa coming off an ACL tear with that contract.
I
Isn't
mean, we
that crazy?
can. We
Isn't that
can.
crazy? How you can get, I mean, a week ago he had the most trade value of anyone in the organization. Now people are going to want to see something from him before they cough up, heavy draft capital for that and the contract. I'm not saying they can't trade him, but it just got way more complicated.
Yeah,
Let's
like
talk,
you're not going to get 2 firsts, but you could definitely get a second or a third, or second and a third from Nick. It's a clean ACL tear. It's not
yeah,
like
that's a
he
tough pill to
blew.
swallow, but I
It's
still
not
would take
like
that because I don't want that contract
yeah,
anymore.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's not like he blew out his knee like BA. So
All right. So here's what's interesting: the Niners, from all accounts, have pretty good blocking this year. Although
yeah,
I don't know how true that is, but according to PFF, their pass blocking's good. Their run blocking's good. It's just that their running game is awful, dreadful, fifth worst in yards per carry, and they're the only team in the league. This is true. They're the only team in the league that hasn't rushed for a touchdown yet. The only one.
Yeah,
They
I
have
did see
Christian
that.
McCaffrey. He's had seasons where he's rushed for damn near 20. So I'm not trying to put it all on the running backs, but I guess I kind of am. This running game is terrible, and it looks like the issue is the guys they're handing the ball to more than anything. What do they do to fix this?
So
In
my opinion, they need to give Garendo some reps. They need someone with some burst. Because like Brian Robinson and Christian, I know people are going to freak out. Christian does not have the same like burst he has had where it's like the sliver of a hole is open and he just boom takes off right through it. We've seen a couple. I think a lot of the chunk plays against the Cardinals, he had like 4 chunk runs called back due to penalty, which was absurd. But like Brian Robinson's just been really underwhelming, in my opinion. He's been really slow. Like, I think Christian's slow and Brian Robinson's looked slower, which isn't good. I really want to see Jordan James or Garendo get some reps.
It hurts how well Jordan Mason is doing because it feels like the least surprising thing of all time. It seems like he's just continuing to do what he did on the Niners and what they downplayed and acted like he wasn't doing or they were responsible for it or it wasn't valuable. Here's some more stats for you. So yards before contact, yards after contact. Yards before contact is more a reflection of the blocking and the scheme and the overall offense, right? So in terms of yards before contact per carry, the Niners rank 14th, which isn't great, but it's
not bad.
Average. Yes, it's not bad. It's slightly above average. Yards after contact per carry, it's 0.8 and it's dead last.
Yeah.
And it's not just Christian, it's Robinson too. So it seems to me, I'm with you. You got to see what Garendo can do in year 1. You played him a lot you got to see what Garendo can do in year 2. You played him a lot in year 1. He averaged 5 yards a carry. Why do you hate him now? And then you drafted Jordan James. You traded Debo for Jordan James. You got to see what Jordan James can do.
My opinion, you sell the farm. Trade Christian, trade everyone. Go get Bijan. Get Christian McCaffrey 2.0. Just sell the farm for Bijan Robinson. Give me some Bijan, man.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Dude, I would offer it all. But
maybe they could go trade for Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I don't know, man. CMC
we'll give you Nick Bosa.
CMC's like, and I can't fully blame him because, again, he had a lot of chunk plays called back. I swear he had like 40 to 50 yards called back on random holding calls. But it's just we have no burst. Like, it sucks to see. And, yeah, Brian Robinson has been very underwhelming. I was still excited about him. He had that one run where I was like, finally, Jesus Christ, he like finally showed up. He had like a 15-yard run. But dude, our schedule's only getting harder. Like the Jaguars are better than the last 3 teams we've played. The Rams are better than the last 3 teams we've played. They shouldn't have. Scatterboo doesn't have burst either.
Hold on. He's currently the number 1 highest graded running back on PFF in the whole league. He's actually pretty good. At least so far. He doesn't have a ton of burst, but
has been way better.
Still, though, like the Niners could have had Scatterboo, but they took Nick Martin, who's been inactive for every game. So,
yeah, I don't know what happened.
They needed a running back. They waited a long time to take one, and the guy they took isn't playing. So they need to put him on the freaking field. Otherwise, people are going to look at that pick and say, "Well, you passed up opportunities to address a position you knew was a need."
Yeah, and it is funny, though. You hear everyone talk about how bad our O-line is when our O-line's actually been performing. Like, I love seeing that. Like, our O-line's so bad, and our O-line's actually been, like, the brightest spot of the offense, in my opinion. Like, besides Ricky
Pearsall isn't a bad player anymore. Like, he's actually
he's
an above-average right tackle. Yeah,
he's been playing like
still good. I don't know about the interior of the offensive line. Like Connor Colby and Jake Brendel and Dominic
Kivitz has been one of the highest graded tackles in the NFL.
I think the tackles are actually pretty good. It's just the interior. I don't think they get much push, which I do think is a factor at the goal line. I
do. Yeah, no, I do. And I'm not trying to dunk on the running backs, but usually when you have a tandem, like look, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. You have David Montgomery, who's that like hammer. And then you have
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs, who's the finesse back. I'm going to hit the holes with a lot of speed. I'm going to go around with a lot of speed, et cetera, et cetera. And we just got two slow dudes, which, again, I don't mean to trigger everyone that's like, Christian McCaffrey is slow. Christian McCaffrey's still quick. He's not fast. He doesn't have like burst anymore. He's still quick and can run routes, but he's not fast. And Brian Robinson's never really been fast. He's always been more of that like hammer back. So I
just feel like McCaffrey has hit this stage of his career that a lot of people get to where like you just get hit and go down.
Yeah.
When he gets hit, he goes down. And like 3 years ago, that was not the freaking case. First of all, he's getting hit like flush in the chest. And it's like, oh, driven backwards onto his back. You never would see that. And I feel like I grew up on, well, I didn't grow up. I covered Frank Gore during the later part of his career. Even when he was in his 30s, he was very good at not taking that big. He would get low to the ground. He would
take hits off his shoulders. 5'6", so.
Well, he was 5'9", but he would run at like 5'6", and he would like always fall forward for a couple 2-3 yards. And I'm not seeing Christian do that anymore.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I've actually thought about this a lot, and I really do think, like, as much as I make the joke about them selling the house for Bijan, it's genuinely serious. I think for Kyle Shanahan, having an elite, I'm not talking good, great, I'm talking elite, top 1, 2, 3 is more important for Kyle to be a running back than a quarterback.
Well, this is why I always said he should draft Cam Skattebo, because I love Cam Skattebo.
I think you give Kyle Bijan Robinson and Brock Purdy, and he would do better with those two, with that duo, than he would with Josh Allen and current CMC.
I feel like all you got to do is give Kyle Shanahan, Mac Jones, and Ricky Pearsall. He'll figure out the rest.
Dude, Ricky's good, but you see how Kyle keeps trying the end arounds and they're just so stale, it just never works. So we just stopped handing him the ball. They tried a few end arounds, they were just getting completely obliterated, and Kyle's like, well, I don't know how else to run the receiver.
All right, let's get into this matchup with Jacksonville. The Jaguars are 2-1. Their defense is super duper legit. They got Josh Hines-Allen, who I wanted the Niners to draft instead of Bosa. You could say I was wrong, but I don't think I was. We'll see. They also got Eric Armstead, my favorite player, my favorite Eric, and they got Travon Walker too. So the defensive line is legit. They got 2 linebackers who are among the best linebackers in the league in Devin Lloyd and another guy whose name I can't pronounce right off the bat, but he's good. And I mean, their whole defense, they have 7 picks in 3 games.
Yeah.
Their offense, on the other hand, they have a good running back. They have a running back they give the ball to a lot, like the Niners, and a bunch of guys who can't catch the ball, and a quarterback who's solid. But I don't know how you feel about him. What do you think about this matchup?
So this is going to be another defensive game. I think Brock and Trevor Lawrence are going to trade a couple interceptions between the two. I got some flack for that. People are like, no, he won't. I don't think Brock Purdy's not thrown a pick in quite a while. I feel like I think someone said week 11 of last year was the last time we had a game where he didn't throw a pick or something. So I think it's going to be defensive again. I think it's going to be who makes less mistakes, in my opinion. It sounds super basic, but you have 2 quarterbacks that love to give the defense the ball. And yeah, I like the matchup personally because I think we're a good run game. And I think when Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a good run game, he kind of freaks out a bit and isn't a good quarterback. But we really need to get the run game going. That's the only way we're going to win, is getting that run game going. Well, and Ricky has to be healthy.
Let's check out what the Jaguars' run defense looking like this year. Let's see. Against the run, they're giving up 4.1 yards per carry. So, and they've given up 1 touchdown on the ground. The Niners haven't scored a rushing touchdown yet. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup for the 49ers offense. I think if Brock's going to play in this game, I'm a little concerned for him.
He has to, doesn't he? Max,
he's not going to be able to just stand in one place and get the ball and get it out of his hands really quick and win like that, because they have a really good pass rush. They have really good linebackers. They're not going to let Christian McCaffrey beat them as a receiver. He's going to have to get the ball further down the field. And this is a defense that has 7 picks in 3 games. And Brock has so many picks. He has 6 picks in his last, 4 games?
Yeah, Brock's been rough, man. Like I get the fandom because of Purdy's story. But let's just be real. As a quarterback, he has made some really bad decisions in the last year and a half. He's been a very bad decision maker. And you're going against a team that catches the football when you make bad decisions. It's going to be defensive. I think it's going to look a lot like the Cardinals game. It's just going to be an ugly slugfest. And
I'm concerned, man. I mean, look what Calais Campbell did to the Niners offensive line. He really, at 39 years old, he had almost a game-winning safety. He made multiple plays. Now you got Eric Armstead, who is a very similar player to Calais Campbell. Who's blocking Eric Armstead on this team? You got Josh Hines-Allen against Colton McKivitz. Colton, I love you, but that's a rough matchup.
Josh Allen.
And if Ricky Pearsall isn't 100%, are you getting the ball down the field? Can you really throw the ball to Demarcus Robinson 10, 15 times and win? Can you throw the ball to Christian McCaffrey 10, 15 times and win against this defense? I mean, when I watched the film, and I'm a big film watcher and ball knower, I saw a defense that was triggering really quickly on passes and tackling very well.
Yeah, I mean, I will say they have a lot of injuries on their receiver side. The Jaguars, I forget who it is that got hurt. But I don't know. I think we're gonna be in good shape. I think it's gonna be a real defensive game, and I have a feeling. My prediction is Fred seals it with a turnover. I think Fred's gonna seal it with a pick, and then
I think the Niners defense should play really well in this game, even without Bosa, because it seems like if you watch the Jaguars, what they want to do is get the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands very quickly with they call it hella screens.
Yeah.
And so it becomes more a game. It's not as much about rushing a quarterback in the pocket. It's more like chasing and tackling. The Niners do that really freaking well.
Sometimes they arm tackle and drive me insane.
Jair Brown can take some funky angles, but I think he's been better as a linebacker. D. Winters and Fred Warner are great. Siegel's a really good run defender.
Yeah,
Stout is too.
I think it looks good. I'll tell you this though. I think if the Jaguars dice us up, you're probably going to see an edge rusher trade pretty quick. I don't think it's going to wait till November if the Jaguars end up dicing us up.
I'd be surprised to see the Jaguars dice them up. That being said, I mean, you could argue that the Saints kind of did.
Renardo's been getting worked, bro. He's going to get targeted again and again and
Saints
again.
Saints had 3 touchdown catches in that game, and there should have been a 4th, but Chris Olave literally dropped one that was wide open. Renardo Green practically fell down. If Olave catches that pass on the first drive, I mean, it's hard to say how the game turns out, but maybe the Saints win. And then last week, Marvin Harrison Jr. drops that gimme. DeMercado dropped one at the goal line.
I will say though, Upton Stout is getting better week by week by week. So
that's true.
As much as Renardo's stock's going down, Upton Stout's stock's going up. So yeah, I think again, when's Mustafa get back? When is he supposed to be back?
He should be eligible to come off PUP list next week. So we'll see if he's ready.
So I think you're going to have to do a lot of shading with your safeties towards Renardo Green. And Jason Pinnock did a bad job at that last week. I think they're going to have to
I'm not even sure that Renardo Green's going to play in this game. He's got a neck injury. And they might want to get a look at Darrell Luter Jr., who might be better. I mean, Renardo Green missed most of the offseason. He missed all of training camp. He was getting torched in minicamp and OTAs. Luter Jr. was out there all offseason. He had good moments in preseason. Maybe he's better right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I really like Renardo Green, and I do have faith in him. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's just having a sophomore slump. It's kind of hard because he's just getting picked on over and over and over. But it's not looking good. But luckily, Brian Thomas Jr. has not been looking good as well. So it's going to be a battle of the sophomore slumps between
He's
them.
looked so much worse. He's looked awful. I remember what Marvin Harrison Jr. looked like last week. He looked shook, just completely broken. Thomas is worse. 25 targets, 7 catches this year. And if you watched him last week, it's happening.
So
constantly.
genuinely, like when you do look at it, right? Like this is the one team that can't punish our secondary, right? Like Travis Hunter
Their
isn't
receivers
even.
are a problem.
Yeah, Travis Hunter ain't playing full snaps. Liam Cohen has said that multiple times. He doesn't want him to.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. has been a shell of himself. And then you have De'Ami Brown, and
he's like their most consistent receiver right now.
Yeah, and he's hurt, so he's questionable. So again, I just don't, and they don't even have Evan Ingram anymore. So like, I think it's going to be an ugly one. I think the Niners are going to win, but it's going to be ugly.
I think the Niners are going to win, but I don't know if it necessarily means much. Although a win's a win always, and 4-0 is great.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that Bosa goes down, and my questions still mostly have to do with the offense. I'm not that concerned about the defense. I adjust my expectations with Bosa not in there. It's probably not going to be a top 3 defense in the league, but it still could be top 10. It's still going to be good. Yeah. My question is the offense, what is the offense trying to be? Are they a pass first offense now? Do they have a running game? Can you keep anyone healthy? Anyone.
And that's the thing, man, is like, I get it. The excuses for Kyle have been raining in. Well, he doesn't have Juwan. He doesn't have BA. He doesn't have Kittle. But at some point, man, like at some point this season, the offense has to be able to be relied upon. Saul is doing it with 5th rounders. Like I don't want to hear an excuse. Well, Kyle doesn't have BA. Okay. Saul doesn't have Bosa. Kyle doesn't have George. Okay. Like Salah doesn't have Mustafa. He's doing it with Pinnock, who's been a journeyman safety. Like, and Salah's still making the defense look good. The only reason we've won games is because of defense. Like, at some point, man, you got to take a look in the mirror and be like, yeah, Kyle probably should have stepped up and said, we can't pay Purdy because we need better offensive talent.
This is probably the best defense the Niners have faced yet this season. Although Seattle and Arizona had good ones, Seattle especially. Yeah. But according to Pro Football Focus, this is the 2nd highest graded defense in the league. If the Niners, if Brock Purdy plays and loses, is that what happens?
I mean, he'll never get blamed. The fan base will never blame him.
Are you sure?
Will never blame him. Yeah.
I think it's a segment of the fan base that won't, but I think it's a segment of the fan base that might feel, hey, if you're not 100% healthy, don't play.
But Mac did and won. Mac did and won. So no, you're making $53 million. Play and win. This is what you're paid to do. You're paid to win these games. That's why you got $53 million. Don't care if someone's hurt. Guess what? Patrick Mahomes plays with whoever's up next. Has been doing that for 3 years. He beat us in a Super Bowl with it. Josh Allen's been playing with whoever's up next. Like, it's not an excuse when you're getting paid this cash. If you didn't want that responsibility, don't get paid this cash. And that's why I hated his contract, because he can't do it without all pro talent around him, which is okay. You shouldn't have taken that much money then.
Okay, so here's a stat I want to throw by you. I looked this one up. So with Brock, I think he's still, our perception of him still is very much influenced by the beginning of his career, the first 100%. Season, going to the NFC Championship game as a 3rd-string quarterback, and then the next year being an MVP candidate. But since the Ravens game, he has been inconsistent. And I thought it would be interesting to just compare Brock and Mac in their last 10 games. Because, Brock's gone through a lot of adversity, but Mac played for the freaking Jaguars. And there's nothing that can happen to you as a quarterback on the Niners that really matches that. So, last 10 starts, here are the numbers for both quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, 4 wins, 6 losses, 13 touchdown passes, 10 picks. Mac Jones, 4 wins, 6 losses, 12 touchdown passes, 11 picks. Mm-hmm. So really over their last 10 starts, they're pretty freaking identical.
Yep. Purdy's not a bona fide franchise quarterback. He's not. He's
I think
just
there's a lot at stake for him this year
Purdy
because
is
you're going
at
to get
best.
side by side looks at him and Mac in the same offense.
He's a bridge quarterback. That's what he is. He's a bridge quarterback. I don't know why the Niners paid him so much money. I've been saying it all summer, and it's just rough, dude.
I think it was telling that Kyle Shanahan changed the way he called plays for Mac. All of a sudden, he was more than willing to call 39, 40, 41 passes in a game for a quarterback. He almost never does that for Brock Purdy. And it's hard to say why.
Oh,
But I
that
think with,
4th and 2 call, he'd never have called if Brock
I
Purdy
don't
was on
think
the field.
so.
Never,
And again, with Brock,
never.
if he throws 42 passes in a game, he's probably throwing 1 or 2 picks. Where, I mean, Mac just threw 80 passes in 2 games and threw 1 pick. When was the last time Brock had a stretch like that? I mean, you could talk about all that he does with his mobility, how he avoids sacks, and that's great. That's definitely an asset. But if he gives it back with interceptions, like I'd
Yeah.
rather you take the sack than throw the pick.
Well, dude, that was the funniest part was when Mac was coming in. He's a worse decision maker. Mac has been a better decision maker than Brock. Like Brock Purdy had 2 awful decisions in the Seattle game. It wasn't like, oh, this defense is playing so well, they disguise coverage. No, Brock just made the dumbest decision you could have made at that moment. Mac made 1 bad decision, and even in the press conference, he just goes, yeah, I mean, I just kind of let it rip and saw what happened. Like, like
The
he,
Vikings were in the same situation as the Niners, and they were like, we're not going to pay Sam Darnold. Maybe they were wrong.
yes.
I mean, the Seahawks have been doing okay with him the last 2 weeks, but the Vikings just blew out a team with Carson freaking Wentz. I think their attitude is, we have such a great team here. We're paying Justin Jefferson. 35 quarterbacks would look good throwing to him and Jordan Addison. We're not going to overreact to Sam Darnold's numbers. We'll let him go, and we'll bring in 2, 3 guys, and it'll work. And maybe they're right.
Yeah. And here's another thing, right? If you don't like what I'm saying about Brock, like you can blame it on his injuries. He has hurt his throwing arm 3 times in as many
Yep.
years. 3 times, dude. Any
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, no matter how strong their arm or no matter what, that destroys your quarterback development. Brock was a young quarterback coming up. The biggest thing he needed to work on was his arm strength. And he quite literally had to take a step back in that department. And everyone could see it. Every ball that comes out of his hands floats. It could be a curl. It could be, and of course we praise his anticipation. He quite literally can't get the ball there unless he is a high level anticipator because they just float
Also,
forever.
why does he throw with anticipation? Why does he throw so many picks? He said it in the offseason. He only sees 60% of the field. He
Yeah.
only sees where he's throwing 60% of the time. Well, guess what?
Yeah. Like, and again, this whole offensive line thing, Mac has been sitting in the pocket, holding the ball for God knows how long and been fine. Sure, he's had a couple sacks, he had a fumble, but for the most part, he's gotten sacked as much or less than Brock. So it's not like this whole myth that it's like Brock Purdy's having to backpack this horrible offense is just not true. Mac Jones is making it work. And even if you want to say Purdy's better, he's not $53 million a year better than that.
Yeah, Brock's career sack percentage on the Niners is 6.04 in 2 starts where Mac had no running game and dropped back a bajillion times. His sack percentage was 4.76.
And he's a
So you don't
statue.
have to be, you don't have to be mobile to not get sacked. I mean, we learned that with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
And Mac
And
hasn't
really,
had anyone either.
this
Everyone's been
system
hurt.
is designed to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly. The stuff that Brock
Yes.
does is when the plays don't work. And according to Kyle, they always work. According to Mac, they work a lot too.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to dog on Purdy, right? Again, he seems like a great person, but he's not a guy you build a franchise around, man. He's just not. He's a guy you build a franchise and slot him in. Like, they shouldn't have paid him. They should have kept the money and either let him play out this last year or just been like, yeah, we'll look for a trade for you.
They could have given him some incentives like they did with Juwan Jennings. Let him play out this last year. He gets hurt. Now maybe you can afford to bring him back next year. I mean, the injuries are piling up. If they keep piling up, he gets cheaper. It's a good chance that his value is never going to be higher than it was last year, and you bought at the wrong time. I mean, there was no one holding a gun to your head to do this. You didn't have to do this. You had Mac Jones. You had another year of Brock. He wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Mac, and again, is Mac better than Purdy? Peak for peak? Probably not, but he's not $53 million worse. Like, you're never convincing me of that. Mac Jones has been just as good as Purdy. It's just, he's not, I don't know.
It's the same situation with like Indianapolis. All of a sudden they got Daniel Jones balling. Mm-hmm. Does that mean they should give him $55 million a year at the end of the no.
Yeah.
No, Sam Darnold means that balling. Their system works if their quarterback isn't awful.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is balling. He went off. Like, and that's what I would have been fine with. One of those Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield prove it contracts. Like, let's just give you 3 years. We'll give you some good cash and see how you do. Like,
but this whole thing of like, okay, don't trust your eyes. We have to give this guy $55 million a year because his numbers say so and the market says so. Yeah, but I'm looking at him, man. He looks like Tua. That's Tua Tagovailoa, right? Yeah, but look at his numbers the last 2 years. Yeah, but it's still Tua, right? And then you pay him. It's like, man, you know what? He still is Tua. And that's the thing with Brock. It's like, okay, when the Chargers paid Herbert, I don't really care what his numbers are. Like, that's a function of the system and the players around him, but it's still Justin Herbert. And now you see when everything comes together, it's like, oh, damn, you might be the best quarterback in football. We're never going to feel that way about Brock. It's never going to happen.
Like, dude, and again,
feel that way about Tua.
His best year was when BA was all pro, George was all pro, Christian was offensive player of the year. And I'm not trying to take away from Brock because he definitely freestyled a bit and made things happen that year and contributed a lot. But like, dude, we're kidding ourselves if we're like, yeah, if you strip those all pros, Brock Purdy is still going to be that guy. He's just not. He's not going to be a Josh Allen. He's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to be a Justin Herbert where you can fill the team with Quentin Johnston, Omarion Hampton, and Ladd McConkey and say, all right, go ball, and he's going to go ball.
Also, another thing with guys like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, the true franchise quarterbacks. Oh, your toe hurts? You're 85% healthy? You got to play. Yeah. Because you're still way better than your backup. Whereas Brock, he's better than Mac when they're both healthy. But if Brock has a toe injury and he can't quite move, like, I'd rather play with Mac. Yeah. And that, again, is not a true franchise quarterback. You got to be 100% healthy to be the guy? Nah.
Like,
because you're not 100% healthy that often.
Let's even give another example. It's not on the Niners. Dude, look at Spencer Rattler against us. Spencer Rattler had nothing and was playing a significantly better team. Do we remember what happened to Purdy when he played a better team in the Ravens? Bro, he got slapped around. Spencer Rattler played a better team in the Niners, and he was dicing us up. And all he's got is like Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. And this is Chris Olave post 5 concussions. Like, Brock Purdy's just not – he's just not it. He's good. But I don't think a good quarterback is worth $250 million. I don't think you pay anyone that's not like legitimately top 7 $250 million.
Especially when you can't keep any quarterback healthy anyway, and your offensive line is paper mache. All right, let's do some prize picks. We got Jacksonville Jaguars, 49ers. Do they have a quarterback for the Niners yet? They don't know who the quarterback's going to – I can't blame them.
I have a feeling it's going to be Brock, no?
I think it's going to be Brock. I went to practice today. He was taking the starters reps. I mean, what would the excuse be? Like,
dude, if Mac plays hurt, but our $250 million quarterback's not playing hurt.
Right. It's a bad look. He almost has to. Okay. Trevor Lawrence, 225.5, more or less. More or less. Those are your options. 225.5 for Trevor.
That's a good one. What did he just do against the Texans?
222.
222.
His receivers are so bad, man. And it's a
I'm
good
gonna give him
defense.
less. I'm gonna give him less.
I'm gonna go less too. I don't believe in this offense, although Liam Cohn's a good coach. Rush yards, ETN 52.5.
I'll go more.
They give him the ball a lot. You think so?
Yeah. I'm gonna go more. He's done that. He's gone over that every single game.
What about Christian? 74.5.
No,
wow.
I'm going less.
Look at that. Look at those. Look at that, dude.
If Christian, I would be happy to be wrong, but I'm gonna go less.
Look at that crap, man. I'm sorry, but it seems like public perception of where Christian is and the reality is like right in front of our faces. Yeah. The most dependable bet is the less on Christian McCaffrey at this point in time, unfortunately. Receiving yards, Ricky Pearsall. You feeling lucky?
Oh, yeah. Give me more on Ricky. Give me more on Ricky.
With the injury? Are you crazy? Ugh. All right, let the record show that I disagree with this pick, and this is Tyler's pick, but I'll let you do it. Travis Hunter, 35.5 receiving yards, more or less.
Ooh. Now, he's going to be guarded by Renardo Green, though, most likely. But, man, wouldn't it just be a Niners thing for him to have his career game?
You took the last one. I'm taking – it's a less, man. They're not – people just have heard of him. Brian Thomas Jr., last one.
Less.
Okay, yeah. That works for us. Those are our picks. Drink them in with your eyes.
We both really think it's going to be a slugfest.
Submit the lineup. Okay, those are our prize picks for this week. Come back last week and see how we did. Download the app. Use promo code COHN. That's my last name. Play $5, get $50 in lineups instantly. App is available in 45 states, including California and Texas. COHN. That's the promo code. Let's take some super chats, man. Niner Gang says, what's OG Cohn think about the Bosa injury? Show tomorrow. Cohn's on tomorrow. Tonight is the last night of Rosh Hashanah, so we'll see what he says. I don't want to speak for the guy. Joseph Ernberg says, should be 0-3. Team isn't good. Tank for draft.
I can't tank
at 3-0.
No, you can't tank. I
don't give a damn what you should be. You are 3-0. Yeah, find a way to be 4-0.
We just had last year where we should have won a lot more games. Doesn't matter what you should have done.
Kings Love Media says, why are you clowns so obsessed with Brock Purdy's money? Cohn is creepy. Well, you know what? I'm obsessed with your money now because you know what? Now it's my money. $2 used to belong to you. Now that belongs to me. I appreciate you for watching. Joseph Ernberg says, Brock, a small, weak, injury-prone mid-tier QB. Cheeks. Thank you, Joseph.
Wait, is he mid-tier or is he ass? I'm confused.
Most of Brock's sacks are his fault. Bad processing. Sin. Joseph Ernberg won't stop. Says Brock is not better than Mac. Be for real, GC.
Joseph, I like you, man. Because
I will say that we know exactly who Brock Purdy is in this system, and we don't know who Mac Jones can be in this system. But I will say it was quite nice. And who's to say that Mac Jones can't be the next Steve Young? You know what I'm saying?
Boy. Okay.
I mean, Steve Young came to this team. He had a tough time. He was on some bad teams. Came here at 26, sat behind the golden child, the chosen one, and then got his opportunity and killed it. Kind of like Mac had to sit behind Joe Montana 2.0.
Give me Zach Wilson as Steve Young 2.0.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Tyler, thanks as always, man.
Of course. Thanks, everybody, for watching.